Shirley came to us with her husband Gordon, married couple. We just feel so privileged and honoured to look after them. She lost her husband in December. She got COVID in March. When COVID got into home, I think it destroyed it. There's nobody else here.
This is the story of a care home and its fight with COVID-19.
I knew deep down in my heart of hearts, if nothing changed, we wouldn't survive.
When the worst of the pandemic did pass, the home became very quiet.
It's the story of what happened after the peak had passed, told by the carers and residents who went through it.
After everything that we've been through, we just thought it won't come to this.
We've gone from hero to zero within a matter of months.
But it's also a story about broken political promises.
I don't want them brought up in a country where the only way pensioners can get long-term care is by selling their home.
Security in old age.
We're determined to do the right thing by these people.
Elder people will not have to worry.
We will fix the crisis in social care once and for all.
This is just horrific. This is the worst thing I've ever been through in my life. I'm so emotional.
I know.
The first case of COVID-19 enters Newfield in early March.
You could see the pure fear on people's faces, including my own. I mean, when it started happening, I was fearful to go to work every day.
We're not knowing what's going to happen to, the residents, the families, ourselves and our families. It was a very difficult time.
Will you ever forget it?
Never. I will never forget that time.
Newfield Care Home quickly finds itself engulfed by COVID.
Try and relax.
One case leads to 2, then 6, then 10, and before they know it, the most vulnerable are infected.
Okay. All right. We're used to dealing with death, as awful as it is. It's the worst part of our job, but not as much.
And this is when I first met Shirley Scott. She's 84, and she's suffered from Parkinson's for the last 25 years. She's tested positive for COVID-19, and at her age, this is really serious.
Has it been a tough couple of days?
Yeah. Very lonely.
Very lonely.
Because your family used to come visit all the time, didn't they? And now they're just...
She's such a strong lady, and I think she's such an inspiration.
Yeah, come back and have a party.
Yeah.
COVID is about to bring Newfield to its knees. It'll kill the residents first, then it will infect the business. Because to understand the impact of COVID, you need to understand what keeps care homes running, how they're funded, who pays and how much.
Over 90% of our residents generally receive funding from the government, be it local authority or health ultimately. So we can't dictate what fee we charge. We are told by local authorities what we're getting paid.
The amount councils pay varies a lot from place to place. Sheffield pays £647 per person per week, the second lowest of all local authorities in England, a fee they say is in line with neighbouring councils. 20 miles west in Derbyshire, the council there pays £783. That's £136 a week more for the same level of care. And these variations continue from Gateshead in the north to Cornwall in the south.
So over the years we've seen an increase in costs. We've not seen an additional increase in the fee that we get paid that's sufficient to meet those increasing costs. It's just the maths don't add up.
Funding is so important when it comes to understanding the long-term impact that coronavirus has had on our care homes.
When the NHS was formed in 1948, social care wasn't put on the same footing. And that was a deliberate decision at the time that was reflecting life expectancy in the 1940s and the fact that people didn't live a very long time after retirement. So what's that meant is we now have two very different systems. Overall, the amount of money we spend on social care is much less than for the NHS. This current year, we're spending less than we spent in 2010 on social care. We're still spending £400 million less than we did a decade ago.
Social care, the system that looks after our elderly residents, is now chronically underfunded.
And year-on-year reductions in the amount of money we're paying for care has meant that a number of providers have been in a really very fragile state as we've moved into the 2020s.
A very fragile state. The last thing care homes in a fragile state need right now is a healthcare crisis that hits them more than anyone else.
So when the worst of the pandemic did pass, the home became very quiet.
It's become very lifeless.
I think we just thought things would pick up, things would get better.
As well as having permanent residents, Newfield also acts as an overflow for local hospitals. The NHS buys bed space during busy times. It's a big contract. But the NHS now says it wants more people to be cared for in their own homes. Care homes are expensive, and this contract will not be renewed. It is a major blow.
And what sort of availability have you got generally out of the 7 days?
Care home owners like Nicola Richards now find themselves in deep financial trouble. Empty homes are bad for business, and Newfield can't afford to sit empty for very much longer.
It's been under pressure for years, and this is pre-COVID. I've talked about this for many years, and ultimately we need intervention, we need financial support from either central government or local government, and it needs to happen now.
But at the end of September, with no residents to care for and no money coming in, the home is put up for sale. Time has run out.
We knew something was wrong when the meeting was called on the Thursday morning. That's when we was told Newfield was struggling at the moment and we could potentially be closing the unit.
Nobody could speak, they didn't know what to say. Everybody was shocked.
So what happened yesterday?
I had to take legal advice, which has led to, forgive me, but a formal consultation with staff as to where Newfield goes, which is, I'm so emotional about this.
It's soul destroying to watch and to think what potentially all of us are facing. It's soul destroying. It's soul destroying. I can't tell you. It's the worst day I've ever had. To sit and to speak to staff who've done what they've done, they've committed themselves and they've been through so much, and to then sit there and talk to them about potential redundancy or potential sale, it's something else.
To be told this, it's a massive kick in the gut.
Summer's in like fighting mode. We've had enough now, and
it is so uncertain. We don't know what's going to happen at the minute. We really don't.
Can I just have a quick word for the level, please?
Nicola Richards, Managing Director.
Do you think you'll be here in a year's time?
Honestly, no. No.
It's been nearly 12 months since that interview, and more care homes have already closed down in Britain so far this year than in the whole of 2019. 38 members of staff at Newfield Care Home in Sheffield have been told that they could be next. Can you just take me through what's happened the last few days?
So yesterday we were all brought into a large room by Nicola, and we was told, she delivered the news that, potentially that we would be made redundant. It's really tough. I think we're still quite in shock.
And as soon as we had that meeting, I was straight looking for another job because I thought, I can't be out of work. We've been put through it. We've been put through a lot since it all started, and then to be told this, it's a massive kick in the gut. As if to say, Thanks for all your hard work. Kicking you out.
To be in a position after fighting a pandemic with my team, facing a closure is just something else. It's just a stark reminder of the mess that social care is in. We've heard empty promises for many, many years now.
The country where the only way pensioners can get long-term care is by selling their home.
It's time also to make public services personal to the needs of the elderly.
The Labour government, both at the start and the end of its period in power, made promises to reform social care, but none of those promises were acted on.
I started writing letters to MPs and basically trying to lobby on behalf of our residents and our staff to protect our services. 4th of July 2011. As you will be aware, the fees being paid by most local authorities are insufficient due to the increasing costs that providers have and continue to face.
In 2013, the coalition government announces it'll overhaul how care is paid for.
Once the Conservatives won a majority in 2015, the then Chancellor George Osborne announced that implementation would be delayed.
20th of November 2015. It is a moral outrage that the livelihoods of staff should be put at risk.
We are offering a long-term solution for the sustainability of social care for the future.
In 2017, the Conservatives say they'll inject £2 billion into social care and speed up reforms.
We thought, this is it. This is it. After all the years of campaigning, of raising the issues, we were just hopeful that finally the support would come.
The Conservatives win the election, but those reforms are delayed by 1 year, then by 2. After 20 years of empty political promises, by the end of 2017, social care reforms grind to a halt.
So I am announcing now, on the steps of Downing Street, that we will fix the crisis in social care once and for all with a clear plan we have prepared to give every older person the dignity and security they deserve.
They're just words, empty promises. It's fixed nothing.
She's the last person at Newfield, and there's nobody else here. There's just us and Shirley.
Oh, and Shirley.
Hello.
It's only me.
Hello, Margaret.
How are you?
No, we're packing, love. we don't know
Packing, are you?
we don't know where we're going, but we're packing.
Shirley Scott fought coronavirus and pulled through. She first moved here with her husband Gordon, who passed away in December. But the home is closing and she's got to find somewhere else to live.
It is very upsetting. Emma's been crying since Friday. Because you get like a family. And we're all upset. We don't know where we're going, you see. We can't get it. We need information on what's vacant to us. We don't know what's vacant to us. But they're expecting us to go, but we don't know where we're going.
What impact does all that moving have on you, do you think?
Well, I've been in a bit of a dream losing my husband. I don't care what happens to me, really. But it's, as I said, 85 and I'm homeless. Aren't I? I've not got an address. I need to find somewhere.
She thought this were forever home. We didn't think we'd be packing boxes to move. Shirley definitely didn't, not at 85.
We've been like this a week, haven't we?
Newfield is no different to thousands of other homes across the country.
And it's just sad that it's come to this. It's just sad. I'm very sad. So, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Everyone has been through so much here.
You know it all. You were around, and it is just like you put your life out and said, I'm doing my best, I'm going to do my best. And then you are paid this way. It's like, is that how life is?
And we're all in the same boat, I know. We all are, and we just need some answers, need to know what's going to be happening.
I feel really deflated. I feel like it's not happening. It's a bit surreal. I keep hoping that somebody might buy it, or something's going to happen. I've still got that hope.
It's what it is. Yeah. You can't do much about it. You just keep on going and keep smiling.
The home is put up for sale. If a buyer isn't found in 3 weeks, it'll close. The staff now enter discussions about redundancy.
Thank you for coming, everybody, for giving up your time for today's meeting. So this is the second part of the consultation process, looking at, you're representing the employees.
Feels like an absolute lifetime each week that we don't know any more information. So it is really difficult, and I think people are finding it really stressful at the moment.
So we've got everybody's feedback for this meeting today? Yeah. Okay.
We feel very let down and angry, but not just for us, it's just in the care sector in general. It doesn't just affect us, it's everybody.
The good thing is they're all on board and engaged and are speaking to everybody, and I thought that they raised some really good points.
They're doing an amazing job. They're going through the process, yet they're talking to their own teams about it. And obviously there's a lot of questions, but some of them we just can't answer at this time. It just feels surreal, really.
We would be more protected if we did work for the NHS, and we wouldn't be in this position. No. And that is the big difference, isn't it? That being in the private sector, it's just not the same at all, is it?
Right now, reforms seem a long way off. The Department for Health and Social Care has acknowledged to us that there's a need for a long-term solution, describing changes to social care as one of the biggest challenges that our society faces.
When we finally see a proposal for social care reform, I think there are important core parts of reform that must happen. The first is about people that need care and support. We need to make sure that they are helped and supported earlier in their care journey so their needs don't escalate too high. The second is our workforce, who need to be recognised and rewarded much more than they currently are. And thirdly, providers who work in the social care sector, they need to be sure that they'll have a fair price for care.
It's the day the staff of Newfield have been dreading. No one's come forward to save the home, and the staff know exactly what that means.
So, for us, it's just we've just got to try and support each other best we can through this process.
My first job ever in care, and for me, I just wanted to change things.
A really good care home with really good staff is gone.
Tough day. I don't think we'll be the first home to close. I don't think we'll be the last. It just feels like the elderly are just not protected anymore.
The residents that we look after, it's not just work, they're more like our family.
We are with people through some of the best moments and some of the worst moments of their life.
We were great carers. We had a good home. I say good, it was amazing. But if the care sector fails, who's going to look after you?